Hello and welcome. You're watching Sports Pass with me, Deepika, your daily half-an-hour window that brings you all the latest news and updates from different sporting arenas. In the next half an hour, we're going to bring you all the latest from the ongoing India versus England series. What is the buzz behind Mbappe's next move and a lot more. First up, the top headlines of the hour. At the ongoing England versus India Test match, India penalised as England opened with 5-0 losses of wickets. For Team India, Ashwin becomes second Indian and ninth bowler to take 500 Test wickets. In a huge boost to Sindhu-led team, Indian women contingent secures maiden medal at the ongoing Badminton Asia Team Championships in Malaysia. Men's team faces Japan in quarter-final round. And in a major move, Kylian Mbapp all set to end his contract with Paris Saint-Germain this summer. As per reports, Real Madrid may plan to make Mbapp the highest ever crossing Madrid player. So those were the top headlines of the hour, and now to give you the latest from the ongoing India versus England Test match series. Well, Ben Duckett led England's counter-attack on day 2 of the third test after India were bowled out for 445 runs in the second session in Rajkot. Ravichandran Ashwin picked up his 500th test wicket, removing Zach Crawley to give India a big breakthrough in the final session. Earlier, India were bowled out for 445 in the first innings. Now, Rohit Sharma and Ravindra Jadeja's 204-run partnership set the tone for India before debutants Sarfaraz Khan and Dhruv Jurel impressed with a solid knock. Now, Sarfaraz hit 62 while Jurel scored 46 during his crucial partnership with Ravichandran Ashwin. And now to discuss more on this, I'll be joined by Ollie Barrett from London and Narayan Singh from DD India's newsroom. A very good evening and warm welcome to both the correspondents. When we talk about, first of all, Ollie, going to you, because in England is playing and the current score says 140 for a loss of 1 wicket. Best ball becomes a very important factor here. How do you see England's performance over here, Ollie?
Well, I think England on day 2 will have hoped to have rolled through India's tail a little bit quicker than they did, to keep the score down a little bit more than they were able to. There were positives and perhaps some less than positives in the England bowling attack. The recall of Mark Wood clearly is felt to have been vindicated by the England side, but some of the English spinners had a slightly difficult time out there. Hartley, for example, with just that 1 wicket in India's first innings. As I say, England were certainly hoping to get through the Indian innings a little bit quicker than they did, to keep the total down a bit more than they were able to. With the bat, England pretty happy so far. Ben Duckett absolutely taking the game to India. He, many people feel, is one of the main beneficiaries of the so-called Bazball that's been brought in by Brendan McCullum and captain Ben Stokes, really freeing him up to play the way that he does. He's close to his century now, which could come in under 90 balls for the English opener, and Bazball can take the game very quickly through stages that would have taken much longer to get through in previous iterations of Test cricket before Bazball came on the scene. So I think overall on day 2, despite England's bowling attack maybe not being as penetrative as Ben Stokes would have been hoping this morning, certainly England's batting response so far is one that's being cheered from the England dressing room in India, but also the many, many English cricket fans watching here in England.
Indeed, and going on to Narayan, when we talk about the current match, what do you think is India controlling the match aptly, and also the role of debutants, the magic that we can see over here?
If you take a look at this, it's all about the pitch, and in the previous matches we saw that the pitch was favouring a little bit to the spinners. As the Test series is progressing here, we can say that it is helping both the spinners and the pace bowlers, and the way the pitch is behaving, and right now it is helping the batsmen and the way they are batting, and the kind of start England got here. the way Ben Duckett and Jack Crowley gave a fantastic start to the England inning. And we can say that the way the temperament and the way England is very, they are sticking to the baseball. It's a good thing. In the past, we saw whenever the visiting sides are coming to India, we used to witness the lopsided matches. But this time, the kind of cricket England is playing, they are showing resistance. And after winning the first match, India bounced back in the second. Again here, a fantastic match is going on. And as far as about the debutants is considered, they are the forced changes by India because few players were injured. KL Rahul was not there, and we have seen that Sarfaraz Khan got his debut and he's getting a chance here. And it shows that the bench strength of the Indian cricket, the kind of Indian the cricketers we have right now. If you take a look at the Sarfaraz Khan, at the age of 12, he came to prominence when he scored a high score in the Harris Shield inter-school tournament, scored more than 400 runs. And after that, he was bought by RCB in 2015 for 50 lakhs. And his first class average is around 70. So it shows that the caliber of the Sarfaraz Khan. And if we talk about Dhruv Jurel, the kind of cricket he played yesterday, and both the Sarfaraz and Dhruv Jurel were the notable contributors. Sarfaraz Khan also scored a half century on his debut. He was run out, and Ravindra Jadeja also admitted that it was his mistake to make a wrong call. So all in all, a fantastic cricket is going on here. And right now, India needs few wickets to be, if they want to win this match, because the kind of cricket England is playing, we need to stop. Some quick wickets are required here.
Right, Narayan. And going back to Oli, when we talk about this match, we would be witnessing a different deal altogether from Ben Duckett also. We are just waiting for that. We are around that magical figure for Duckett. But when we talk about Stokes, this is his 100th test right now. It becomes even more crucial for him. How do you look at Stokes' performance over here? However, he dropped the catch today.
Yeah, well, just to tell you, Ben Duckett has hit absolutely in his 100th test. He'll be hoping to show that his leadership has brought real change to this England team. I mean, there's been evidence of that since he took over, but clearly winning test matches in India is another level of challenge for him. When he gets into bat later on, he'll be keen to score runs, I'm sure. One of the key questions for him and the other English batsmen will be exactly what happens to the pitch between now and then. As we were saying yesterday on day one of the test, I think England was certainly hoping that they could get onto this pitch while it remained flat and before it started to deteriorate too much. And that's one of the key reasons that they're so keen to put a decent first innings total together, particularly with the spinning expertise in India's ranks as we look ahead towards the second innings.
Indeed. Thank you so much, Oli, for joining us and bringing us a rounded perspective on England's performance at the ongoing India versus England test match. A very quick question to Narayan before we let Narayan go. Narayan, when we talk about the wickets that you were talking, that it is imperative to take quick wickets, but here Ben Duckett is creating record. It looks very hard to remove Ben Duckett here.
As the match will progress, as the day will progress, it's day two only, the pitch will deteriorate, and as the match will progress, it will favor the spinners. And once India will get 2 or 3 quick wickets, definitely this is going to be changed. But the most important aspect, I think, is the kind of cricket India played here, the old school cricket. After in day one, if you take a look, the kind of cricket India were 33 for 3, and after that it was looking like a Herculean task for India to bounce back in this match. But after that, Ravindra Jadeja and Captain Rohit Sharma played we can say the magical partnership, and which was of more than 200 runs, and this was the key thing of this match. And in the same manner, India here need to reassemble themselves and make a proper strategy for the English players so that they can get few quick wickets. And still India has an upper hand in this match, but they need few quick wickets, and for that they need to just make a strategy and get those crucial scraps here.
Indeed. Thank you so much, Narayan, for joining us and bringing us a rounded perspective on India's performance at the ongoing India versus England Test series. Moving on in sports buzz, but staying on cricket, the Pakistan Cricket Board terminated the central contract of fast bowler Haris Rauf after he refused to join the Test team for the tour of Australia that coincided with his stint at Australia's Big Bash League. Now, Rauf, who played for Melbourne Stars in the Franchisee League, did not join the Pakistan team for a 3-match Test series against Australia between the 14th of December and the 7th of January. The 30-year-old's refusal had caused a standoff with Pakistan Cricket Board that ended when the board granted him permission to make a limited appearance in the BBL before joining the nation's national squad for a 5-match T20 series against New Zealand in January. Rauf has played only one Test match for Pakistan, focusing his career on limited over cricket. He has also played in T20 franchisee leagues in Bangladesh and the United States. New Zealand ended their long wait for their maiden Test series victory over South Africa as Kane Williamson inspired the hosts to a 7-wicket victory in the second Test in Hamilton on Friday. Now, Kane Williamson hit an unbeaten 133 as New Zealand successfully chased down 267, which is the highest total chased in Test cricket's history at Sedon Park. New Zealand and South Africa met each other in bilateral Test series 17 times in the past, with the Proteas winning 13 out of them. However, Kane Williamson's run-scoring fest made sure that New Zealand hammered a fecund South Africa side by 2-0. A twin 100 from the former captain made sure that New Zealand won the first Test by 281 runs. When it looked like another walk in the park for New Zealand, a spirited South African side riding on David Beddingham's maiden Test 100 gave the home side a scare by taking the first innings lead. However, Kane Williamson's grounded on a tough batting pitch on fourth day, bringing up his 32nd Test 100 and stitching a 152-run match-winning stand with Will Young in the final innings. On to badminton now. India's women's team confirmed their maiden medal at the Badminton Asia Team Championship with an easy 3-0 victory over Hong Kong in the quarterfinals at Shah Alam City of Malaysia on Friday. PV Sindhu notched up the first victory for India with a 21-7, 16-21, 21-12 victory over Law Sin Kyan. And then the team was happy to give themselves an early advantage. Ashwin Punappa and Tanisha Crosto continued the momentum and doubled India's lead after they overcame Yong Ting and Yong Pui Lam in 2-game match. Then Ashmita Chaliha secured the unassailable lead with a 21-12, 21-13 victory over Yong Soom Ki and booked a place in the semi-finals for the team. We are moving for a short break, but still to come on Sports Buzz. Lewis Hamilton to play his last season at Mercedes before the 7-time world champion switches to Formula One rivals Ferrari for 2025. In golf, Tiger Woods returns to action after 10 months.
A platform for the developing world, amplifying the voice of the global south with a focus on the growing economy, resolving the conflicts, showcasing the culture, tradition, heritage and diversity. Watch Voice of the Global South at these times on DD India.
Can you always trust your eyes? The world you see may not be real. This is the age of deepfakes. I connect the dots to get you the full picture. Watch Connecting the Dots every Friday at 8 p.m. IST on DD India. How potent is North Korea's nuclear threat? The Korean Peninsula may be on the brink of war.
Welcome back after that short break. You're watching DD India Sports Buzz with me, Deepika. Now let's get you the update from football. French captain Kylian Mbappe has informed Paris Saint-Germain that he's leaving the club in July as a free agent 7 years after joining them, according to media reports. Now, Mbappe signed for PSG from Monaco in 2017 for 194 million US dollars to become the second most expensive player ever. The 25-year-old striker, who helped the capital club win 5 Ligue 1 titles and 3 French Cups, is Paris Saint-Germain's all-time leading scorer with 243 goals across 290 appearances. Mbappe last year sent a letter to PSG stating that he would not take up the option to extend his contract by a year when it expires in the month of June. And we would also be having our correspondent Ross Cullen to discuss more on this. This becomes a very important move. However, we are expecting a formal statement from Kylian Mbappe in a month's time. And at that time, Paris Saint-Germain would also be releasing a formal statement confirming the news. But however, we've been hearing Kylian Mbappe's move since a long time now. However, there were options for French forward Kylian Mbappe to move to Saudi Pro League also, which he denied vehemently. And now, once again, when the contract is there to expire, any other club has not been confirmed yet. However, we are getting to learn that Real Madrid could be the potential club who can take over. And now let's cut across to Ross Cullen, who's joining us live from Brussels to discuss more on this. Good evening and thank you so much, Ross. What is the latest that we are tracking on this report confirming Mbappe's move? All right, we would be coming back to Ross Cullen once more. But before that, a quick update on football. A Korean Football Association Advisory Committee recommended sacking of head coach Jurgen Klinsmann after their semi-final exit at the Asian Cup. Now, South Korea were eliminated by 87th ranked Jordan in the Asian Cup semi-finals earlier this month, prompting fans and some politicians to call for the 59-year-old's dismissal. Many also criticized his demeanor during the tournament, smiling even when things were not going his team's way on the field. The National Team Committee does not make administrative decisions, leaving it up to the KFA's executive board whether to act on its recommendation to fire Klinsmann, whose contract runs through the 2026 World Cup. Now let's get across to Brussels, where Ross is joining us. Ross, when we talk about the reports that we are hearing on Kylian Mbappe's move, what is the latest that you can fill us with?
Yeah, French media saying that it could be April or May in terms of when we might know the official destination for Kylian Mbappe is going to be Real Madrid. It seems so almost certain that the French superstar will be making his move from France to Spain. There have been a couple of other suitors maybe in play, potentially the United States, potentially England. Liverpool had been mentioned, but Real Madrid have tried 3 times over the past 5 years to sign Kylian Mbappe. Each time they've been rebuffed by Paris Saint-Germain. But this time, after the striker tried to force a move in 2023, we now know that he is going to be heading to Real Madrid in all likelihood at the end of this season.
And when we talk about this move, is this a great loss for Paris Saint-Germain because an experienced player would be moving? Or how do we look at, and if we look at this development as an opportunity for fresh and young players to join PSG?
Yeah, of course, it's a huge loss. The French national captain, PSG's record goal scorer, one of the most famous footballers on the planet, heading not just to a different club in France, but leaving the country as well. Previously, when Real Madrid had come calling, French President Emmanuel Macron had urged Kylian Mbappe to continue to ply his trade in France, but it seems that the lure of La Liga is just too strong now, and Kylian Mbappe has asked to leave the club, and we do understand that request has been accepted by PSG, and now we need to finalise the terms of his exit, confirm the club that he's going to, very likely to be going to Real Madrid. It does also herald another example of the end of this Galacticos era, which was started in 2003-2004 by Real Madrid when they signed these huge superstars, potentially trying to fit all these amazing players into the same team was pretty hard for Real Madrid. We've seen PSG with Lionel Messi, with Neymar, with Sergio Ramos, with Marco Verratti, 4 names who have left PSG but have been these global superstars. At times, when you looked at the attack, when it was Lionel Messi, Kylian Mbappe and Neymar all playing together, pretty frightening prospect. But PSG have now turned towards to look more at their academy, to look more at trying promoting younger players through the ranks rather than going shopping around the world for the biggest superstars money can buy. They are determined, though, to try to land the Champions League. That is one of the major trophies that has eluded PSG throughout their history. Never managed to win the European Cup. In fact, only one French club has ever managed to do that, and that was PSG's fierce rivals, Marseille. Other French clubs have made the final, but no one has won it apart from Marseille. And Kylian Mbappe determined to try to leave on a high. They are 11 points clear, PSG, in the French domestic league. They're into the quarterfinals of the French Cup, so he would want to be trying to win these trophies if he can in his final season, just as Jurgen Klopp, for example, leaving Liverpool but taking Liverpool to another League Cup final next weekend. So he will want to leave on a high, the Liverpool manager. Kylian Mbappe wants to leave on a high as well to try to fix as many trophies as possible. And one potential lineup, though, is it would be very interesting to see if PSG play Real Madrid at any point further down the line in the Champions League draw.
Indeed. All right. Thank you so much, Ross, for joining us and bringing us all that vital information about Kylian Mbappe's move. Moving on to F1. Mercedes pulled the covers of their latest creation, which is a sleek, revamped car destined for the departing legend Lewis Hamilton. With the season opener in Bahrain looming on the 2nd of March, the stage is set for an electrifying chapter in the ongoing saga of Formula One racing.
Season with the team. I'd love to talk to you about your
Mercedes presented a significantly updated car for 7-time world champion Lewis Hamilton ahead of his impending move to Ferrari. Mercedes finished second overall in 2023, but former champions failed to win a race for the first time in 11 years. Red Bull won 21 of the 22 and Max Verstappen taking his 3rd title in a row. On this occasion, Lewis Hamilton said he is excited.
Yeah, well, it's obviously been emotional. It's very surreal to be here, given I came here in 2013. So 11 years with the team, starting in my 12th, and it is such a privilege to work with a group of people where you see the work they're doing over winter. We go through this process over the last couple of years. You see a car come together at the beginning of the year. It's the most exciting part of the season, really. It's what you see in everyone's launches.
Seeing how it is.
Hamilton, aged 39, announced this month that he would be leaving at the end of the season after signing a multi-year deal with Ferrari. Team boss Toto Wolff said that once dominant, Mercedes faces a big challenge to get back to the top.
In terms of the team,
Aston Martin and be at the forward part of that group, in the same time as trying to race at the very front. This is our aim. We're determined to do so, and at the same time we know how difficult it is because you're a step behind that your main competitor that has gotten it right straight from the get-go. But we love the challenge, and this is why I'm so eager, and all of us so eager to see the car finally driving.
The W15 car has a silver nose, marking the 90th anniversary of the Mercedes' famed silver arrows, plus the familiar red, green and black of the recent seasons. Hamilton's teammate George Russell said that he just wanted to get behind the wheel to see how it performed.
Max Verstappen expects his old rival Lewis Hamilton to have an awkward last season at Mercedes before the 7-time world champion switches to Formula One rivals Ferrari for 2025. The 26-year-old Dutch, chasing his 4th successive title this season, said at the launch of Red Bull's new car on Thursday that the Briton would be in a feared situation. Hamilton have won 6 of his titles with Mercedes and has a close relationship with Australian Wolff as well as other senior personnel. Red Bull unveiled their new car named RB20 for 2024 Formula One season. Red Bull won all but one of the races last season, with Dutch driver Max Verstappen taking his third title in a row with 19 out of 22 race victories. In golf, Tiger Woods ended an uneven day with an eventful bogey to shot a 1-over par 72 at the first round of the Genesis Invitational on Thursday in California. Woods, the tournament host at Rivera County Club, played his first round of an official PGA Tour event since the Masters 10 months ago after recovering from an ankle injury. He carded 5 birdies and 5 bogeys through 17 holes, but he hit a surprise shank from the 18th fairway that sprayed far right. His recovery shot, a stinger past large tree, gave him 15 feet for par, but the ensuring putt slipped left of the hole. At the third signature event of the 2024 season, the top 50 players and ties will make the cut of the 36 holes. Now, a quick update on tennis. Australian Open champion and top seed Yannick Sinner saw off French veteran Gael Monfils in 3 sets to book his spot in the Rotterdam Open quarter-final round. The Italian overcame a second flip to claim a 6-3, 3-6, 6-3 victory and will next face Canadian former world number 3 Milos Raonic. Kazakhstan Alexander Shevchenko upset Danish third seed Holger Rune by 6-4, 1-6 and 6-3 to set up a meeting against Grigor Dimitrov. Now, local favourite Talon Kriegspur ousted third-seeded Paul Hubert Hurkacz in a match that was decided by 3 tie breaks, with the Dutchman eventually prevailing 6-7, 7-6 and 7-6 after 2 hours and 36 minutes of intense clash. Top seed Carlos Alcaraz began the defence of his Argentina Open title with a straight sets victory over local favourite Camilo Hugo Carabelli in Buenos Aires on Thursday. The Spanish, world number 2, let 2 match points slip and lost his serve deep in the second before regaining composure to win by 6-2 and 7-5. Up next for Alcaraz is the quarter-final against another qualifier in Italian Andrea Vavasori, who got the better of 7th seed Laszlo Dicer of Serbia by 6-4 and 7-5. Now, last year's runners-up and second seed from Great Britain, Cameron Norrie, meanwhile suffered a 6-2, 4-6, 6-3 loss to Argentine Federico Correa. And that's all for this edition of DD India Sports Fast, but let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. You can connect with us on Facebook, X, formerly known as Twitter, and Instagram. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Deepika Mehto, and from all of us here in New Delhi, thank you so much for watching DD India Sports Fast.